Today is all about boxy tops. Now that boxy tops have taken over both ready to wear and garment sewing, it's likely that you've encountered one with an agenda outside of just being a comfortable, breezy top to wear. The secret is out, and some of them are trying to choke us to death. Now, as a pattern maker and pattern designer, and also just, as a human woman with a body, it does make me sad when people are wearing or sewing a garment and blaming their body when it's actually just something wrong with the garment or pattern. In the case of boxy tops, this often happens when the top pulls or shifts towards the back, uncomfortably choking the wearer. Now, the most common pattern adjustment that I see recommended is a forward shoulder adjustment. And usually the person recommending this adjustment or making this adjustment says something like, well, it's just because I'm hunched over at my desk all day. So, my shoulders are forward. I need to move the seam line. And yes, you can see in this video, I am very shoulder forward. A lot of us have this problem. But this is usually not the problem with a boxy top that is aggressively choking you. So if you do make this adjustment without addressing the root problem, you're going to end up with a boxy top that chokes you while the shoulder seams sit perfectly in the center of your shoulder. And yeah, it's great that your shoulder seams are in the right spot, but the choking is a no. It's a hard no from me and probably from you too. So what do we do? Well, I'll tell you. So a lot of times you'll notice that boxy top patterns and ones that you buy from the store as well, they're drafted so that the front and the back are the same, save for the neckline. So in the front, everything will be the same as the back, but the neckline in the front will be scooped out more. So this is not really the way bodies are made. Now, the reason this doesn't work is because the two sides of your armhole are not built the same. Typically, the shoulder in the back is slightly taller than the shoulder in the front, and that's because your shoulder or your arm side has to come up around the back, whereas the front is more scooped. So if you look at a sleeve cap for just a basic sloper, block, whatever, like a fitted dress, the front armhole is usually a bit shorter and more curved than the back armhole, which is usually a bit longer and straighter because it has to go up around the shoulder blade up to the top, whereas the front is just scooping down right into the underarm. This is a boxy top. This is the Corinne top, and you can see it is sitting right on the center of my shoulder, and that is because the back is longer than the front, or taller than the front. So what does this look like on a pattern? So here we have a basic bodice front and back. This is just a sloper draft, very, very basic. It is from the Helena Joseph Armstrong pattern making book. So you can see the side seams align, and the side seams will need to align on your boxy top as well. Otherwise, you'll have a jagged edge at one side or the other. So if you square everything out, so here we have the center front, and this is a pattern with no seam allowance. And then we align the underarms and make sure that the center back is parallel to the center front, which is how it will be on your body. You can see that the shoulder is a bit taller than the front, even this point here. So of course, the center back and center front will be different heights because, your center front is lower than your center back. But I'm talking about this distance here. And now you can see if you walk these armholes. So we'll put the front over the back. you can see the front armhole ends here. So that is just like 3/16 of an inch, but this is a half scale torso or quarter scale. I can't remember. It's very small. So this will be magnified in a full scale bodice. So this shows you why it's a problem when the boxy top front and back above the armhole are the same height. Here we have just a random boxy top pattern that I made. This is nobody's pattern. This is just, I made some squares, made some necklines. So here we have the two notches. This is for the bottom of the armhole. And you can see matches below, but also matches above. And that is going to be a no. So what do? We need to add length through the armhole. So what we're going to do is just draw a line perpendicular to center front, and then we're going to slash and spread. So we'll just cut our little pattern. So the question now is how much to spread this. So when you're originally drafting your block, this height is based on two measurements. The torso length, which is this point to the bottom of the torso, and also by the armhole slope, which is the measurement from the outer edge to the center front or center back. Now, since this has already been drafted, it's slightly less useful because we don't know what the original block looked like and what the pattern maker did to make this. So if I was going to do a forward shoulder adjustment, I would take that amount and spread it that much. So that way we are moving the shoulder forward, but we're doing it by creating room in the back. We're going to draw our center back line first because you always need an anchor. Align our pattern piece. And then the amount that you would do that forward shoulder adjustment. So maybe it would be a 1/2 inch, maybe it'd be 3/4 of an inch in a particularly aggressive top. You'll add that amount here. So this is tiny, so I'm going to do a 1/4 inch. Then from there, all we have to do is tape our top down and blend this. This is a straight line, but you know, on some tops it's like kind of longer. So all you'll do is you'll just blend through that point. So now you can see the back armhole is now taller than the front. We have our side seams, our side seams are aligned, and the excess height is within the armhole. So while this may look similar right now to a forward shoulder adjustment, the difference is we did not just take from the front and add to the back. We created space here. So now if you were making a boxy top with a sleeve, like this current top, for example, what you would do to make sure that the sleeve fits into the new armhole is to just make that adjustment through the back sleeve. And most boxy tops are quite oversized, so the sleeve cap is going to be shorter and like longer. It's going to be more like that instead of like that. So it'll be really easy to just spread that side of the armhole the same amount as the back, so it'll sew right in that way. Okay, so here you can see this shoulder seam is sitting right in the center of my shoulder, and the top is not pitching towards the back. Everything is straight, and that's because the shoulder in the back is taller than the front, so the arm side is taller. And the neckline looks a little weird on this one because I have my mic stuck on there, but the neckline does usually sit quite nice when there's not a mic weighing it down. Okay, so I hope you found that information and little tutorial useful. It's always really important to me to not just say, this is what's happening to you, here's how to fix it. And just, you know, your top is choking you, do this. I always want to try to explain why, the how, the theory behind it. That way you have that knowledge and you're able to move it forward into your future sewing projects. For me, if someone just says, this is the thing and this is the answer, I always want to know why and how and all of that. So hopefully I have done that for you here today. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. You can subscribe to this channel for more updates and videos. I hope you now have the tools to fix any issues you may have with boxy tops, and you never will have to be choked by one again.